Hi there, I'm Diggy. Welcome back to Stronger After the Storm. Last time I talked about work, the financial panic, the identity shift, and finding my way back to the job I loved. But before I managed to get myself back to work, there was a long spell of rehabilitation in between, one that tested me in a very different way. It's what I call the essential rest, not the kind you choose, but the kind that's forced upon you. And for a man who's worked his whole life, that rest can feel like a kind of failure, a different kind of almost weakness. After my heart attack, once the immediate fear began to fade, my mind jumped straight to the same question a lot of us have. When can I get back to normal? That word normal keeps coming up. But by normal here, I mean work. I built my life around it. Early mornings, out to the hills, the sound of nature and chainsaws mixed in the forest, the rhythm of a man's day out in the open. But this time, something inside me knew, don't rush this. I wasn't ready. My body was healing, yes, but my mind was still learning how to trust it again. So I made the decision I wouldn't go back until I was truly ready, and that took longer than I thought. Some days it felt like I was letting myself down. I'd sit in the house or go for a slow walk through the woods and think, you should be out there, working like you used to. But then I'd remind myself, this is the work for now. The healing, the breathing, the quiet rebuilding of strength, one small moment at a time. Learning to rest without guilt. Resting isn't easy for men like us. We're wired to keep going, to measure worth by how much we do, not how well we recover. But I came to realise rest isn't a weakness, it's a wisdom. It's necessary. It's the body's way of saying, I've just fought for your life, now let me repair it. It's here you start to feel more in tune with your body, maybe for the first time. So I started to treat rest like part of the job. A walk by the river became my somewhat journey to work. Sitting outside with a cup of coffee, listening to all the sounds that nature gives us, that was peaceful inner training. Learning to slow my breath when my mind raced, that was for now, in place of all the extras I used to put on myself after the working day had finished. It might sound simple, but reframing rest as recovery gave me permission to stop punishing myself for doing nothing. Nature, patience and readiness. During that time, nature became my teacher, my healer. The same woods I once worked in became the place I went to heal. I'd walk the same paths I'd once carried all my work equipment and tools along, slower, lighter, but more aware this time, full of reflection. And over time something changed. The trees didn't rush their growth, the seasons took their time, and I realised I think I should too. That quiet space gave me back my confidence, my breath and my strength. By the time I returned to work, I knew deep down I was ready. Not because I'd forced it, but because I'd waited long enough to trust myself again. And it's what rest really means. Here's what I've learned. Rest isn't the opposite of strength. It's what makes strength possible. Without it, you're just pushing on empty. When we rest, we're not giving up. We're rebuilding the foundation underneath it all. And if you let yourself truly rest, not out of fear, but out of the respect for what you've been through, you'll find that when the time comes to move again, you'll move better, stronger and clearer. If you're in that place right now, stuck between wanting to get back to life and knowing you're not quite ready, please don't rush. Rest is part of the recovery. Stillness is part of strength. And healing, real healing, takes time. Visit Stronger After the Storm for past episodes, stories and my weekly reflection letters. Honest thoughts for men rebuilding life after a heart attack. And don't miss next week's episode. When the mirror lies, how self-image and perception shift and finding pride in the new you. This is Stronger After the Storm. I'm Dougie. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.